guardians of the galaxy.
Please help me welcome the cast, Andrew Lincoln! Stephen Yeun! Lauren Coleman! Michael Cutlitz! Danai Gurira! Melissa Mcbride! Chad Coleman! Emily Kinney! And Norman Reedus! Welcome! This gets bigger every year! Lauren, you totally have a shot with that guy. So let's talk, a ton of questions, there's a big panel, so it's nice to see Rick back the way, I mean, you did an amazing job as Sad Rick, but as angry, kick-ass Rick, it's so great, that footage in that trailer is phenomenal. So
it's been fun.
It's been fun, right? Do you feel like you're you again?
You know, yeah, it was great, you know, being reined in by Herschel, but you know, there's something about getting my gun back and my shoes on and getting sweaty and dirty and bloody that really feels right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how, now that you're back as Rick-tatorship, what do you feel like? How do you prepare? Like, how do you prepare for Angry Rick?
Well, you know, like most people, I just learn my lines and I'm very quiet and very focused.
That's it? That's the only thing you do?
Yeah, no, I listen to some music from time to time.
Okay, well, there's a video of you getting prepared for your character that we brought that I mean, if you say that's all it is, that's fine, but I feel like there's...
Christopher.
Well, Andrew. This is very British and formal all of a sudden.
Why would you do this to me?
Because I think people need to know the man behind the Rick.
No, this is just a very private, quiet, it's Zen. What I do is Zen preparation.
All right, well, turn off his mic so he can be Zen, and let's show this footage.
What?
As far as I'm concerned, that's a whole other show that we could be watching.
That's so embarrassing. Did that look as crazy as it sounded?
No!
Oh yeah, it did.
Totally normal.
That's what I was doing before I came out here. Sorry about that.
Let's talk to Steven. Glenn's really had a nice arc in the sense that, and we've talked about this before, he kind of went from the, hey guys, what do you need, to like you know, like breaking chairs.
My voice exact.
I got it totally exactly. But Glenn has really, I mean, this is kind of a crappy thing to say, but the apocalypse kind of made him a man in a weird sort of way. Would you agree with that, or would you not agree with that?
I would agree. You know, I think everyone in this apocalypse has gotten their potential completely unlocked, and I think Glenn was someone, maybe back at home he wouldn't have been the person that he is, dealing pizzas, but now, you know, he has love, he has friendship, he has family, and he has things to protect, so yeah, he's learned a lot.
And how can you sort of describe where his mental state is at the end of last season, where it's finally, you know, like he and Maggie finally came together. They didn't really have a ton of time to be like, I miss you so much. It was just like, hey, shoot. So how do you think he feels centered again? Do you think he feels whole again?
You know, I think for him, you know, last season he overcame an incredibly impossible task to find the people that he lost, and he held out hope, and it got him to that place. And so moving forward, you know, they find themselves in a very dire situation, but I think he still holds out hope. He still has that fight in him, and you know, I think he's carrying on the legacies of all the people, as well as all of us are, of everyone that's fallen before us.
Yeah. I want to talk to Lauren for a second about Lauren went on a crazy blood painting expedition throughout last season, looking for Glenn. how do you think Maggie kind of goes from fight mode back into, you know, like, okay, I can actually love someone, I can be in a relationship, I can let someone in. How does she jump back and forth, do you think?
It's funny because the physicality of the show exhausts you so much, and I think we all know how much easier it is to cry when you're tired, like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
No, but I think it was funny in the sign swinging episode because since that day I now pour blood over my head to get into character.
Oh.
Those scenes, yeah, I don't feel prepared unless I pour blood over my head. But yeah, I think it's what makes this character is you do what you need to do, and very often what you need to do is kill 7 to 10 people at a time, and then, you know, snatch a moment to express, you know, your feelings.
Do you think it's possible, at, like, let's just say at the beginning of season 5, they go, oh, we found a cure for zombieism, it's orange juice or whatever, and then everyone's fine. Do you think these characters could, like, do you think they could ever settle down at some point and find a normal life, or do you think they're just kind of broken forever?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like even if we cured the orange juice, there would still be a lot of bad guys out there. I think we can all agree that once this happens in the world, nobody's going to be the same after, so maybe, I don't know, I'd like to start a school.
For blood art?
Yeah, blood art, yeah, I'll come.
I'm very excited to have Michael Cutlitz here because he's never been to ComicCon before. And Abraham was you know, in the comics, Abraham is a statuesque V-shaped man. So how did you get, like, when you read the comics, when you looked at the comics, did you picture yourself like, yeah, I'm this guy?
He's a punk in the comics. No, it was interesting because I obviously don't look like that. I don't know if too many people look like that in real life. It's, you know, comic book Abraham. So I decided I was going to meet him somewhere in the middle. You know, do my end to get to where I could, and you know, it's all about attitude mostly. So he's a badass.
How did it feel? I mean, what was the experience like coming into, you know, this sort of pre-existing family in the cast, and everyone's been there for a while, and you're the new guy? Did you feel right away like I click and I fit in, or how was the experience?
These guys are fantastic to come work for. I mean, this is obviously arguably the largest show in the world, and you come into it, you know, sort of near the tail end of a season. It's interesting,
yeah.
You know, and they made it easy. You know, they all welcomed me. It's nice starting this year, you know, coming in fresh, and I described it as, you know, the first season was sort of moving into somebody's house, and you know, you sort of like, you get to sleep on the couch, and this year they built me a room. And I feel very, very welcomed by everyone, and I'm just excited to see all this. And you guys are, holy crap, there's a lot of you.
I gotta say, I don't know if you can turn around and see yourself in the monitor, but in the close-up, your hair is like electric orange.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'd like to talk to Nye for a sec, and Michonne had such an amazing season this past season, and seeing so many different sides of Michonne. What is more challenging for you, when you get all torn up physically, or is it like when you get torn up emotionally? Like what's more challenging for you as a performer?
Thank you. I've really loved both sides of her, and I love this character probes me to both sides. Like, I have got to go there for her in whichever direction she needs me to. And initially, I was really afraid of how physical she was, because she's definitely more agile than me. So I had to catch up, and I consistently have to catch up with what she's capable of. But actually, even before she was able to start working through her own old wounds, there was emotional stuff that was under the surface that I had to stay connected to that was actually proved to be really challenging, because it was really dark, hard stuff that she was holding on to so tightly. So that was actually very challenging. And then now she's kind of in a different place, which is really somewhat easier in some ways to play, but also challenging because she's vulnerable, and that can be hard for her because she's enjoyed being tough, but she knows that's not all she is. So they've both actually been really enjoyable to do as a performer, but both very challenging. And every script you pick up, you're like, okay, you gotta like pull that off this week in terms of the physical needs. So she's keeps me on my toes, which is great.
Excellent. I have something for Melissa Mcbride.
Yeah, just look at the flowers, right?
Are you gonna pick someone to give them to? No? 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 Nobody wants? Nobody wants the flowers? Come on, Chad. You know you want the flowers. No? 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 I think, first of all, Melissa McBride, congratulations on your Saturn Award. I mean, talk about seeing a character come out of their shell and dominate. I mean, Carol this past season she's really become a true leader and done stuff that I don't know if any other characters would have been able to do. So how do you feel about Carol right now, and what are your thoughts going into season 5 about what she's prepared to do?
I think the great thing about Carol is that she is kind of prepared to do anything. It's coming to terms with the fact that this is the world the way it is, and this is what you have to do now, and that she's come to a place of courage to be able to do those tough things. But yeah. She's a very empathetic character.
But how does she keep grounded? Like, how does the Lizzie thing happen and then she's like, all right, let's move? Like, how does she stay centered?
I think it's because in her center she feels justified, and it comes from a place of caring. I think if it weren't for that, what's the point of living? You know?
I guess not much if you're Lizzie.
What's the point of having to do these horrible things if that's all the world is?
Yeah. I also want to welcome Chad Coleman to the stage. It's such an amazing scene between Tyrese and Carol where you're like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Oh, wow, they made peace with each other somehow But so in your mind, what was happening with Tyrese in that moment?
Well, you know what? Hope, you say hope and heart. How does hope demonstrate itself in this world? You know, if you don't have the heart, you can't have the hope. You know, so I don't know that. I think Scott will agree with this. That there was no time really that he lost sight of her humanity. Though, if you really tracked the way we went through, we had. It was a horrific experience, almost shared experience, and a complicit agreement to have to take out Lizzie, So that's a lot of, I saw her. So I didn't just see this villain. I saw someone who was incredibly brave in an incredibly harsh world. So that's why I was able to forgive her. Also, you look, there's a little community. If we're gonna have hope, then we gotta believe, we gotta be able to sustain community, and we got to build from somewhere, So destroying that community just lessens the hope that much more. So, it's a twisted world, but that's what hope looks like now. Doesn't look warm and fuzzy like maybe in the real world.
Right.
But hey, that's what it is.
Yeah, Carol's definitely a good role model, particularly for parents who are like, kids don't act up, or... That's Carol. She did it. Emily Kinney, I am thrilled. There's so many questions. We did the talk dead something special. It was like, where's Beth? Where's Beth? Where's Beth? Where's Beth? And of course, we couldn't answer that. I don't know what happened. Gimple wouldn't say anything. So it's very nice to see you in the trailer. It's nice that that Beth is out there somewhere. So what can you tell us about where you think she's at up to the point that the last time we see her?
Yeah, well, I can't tell you really anything about where she is next season, but I can tell you that she's gotten a lot stronger, you know? We've seen Beth lose her father and leave the farm where she grew up, and she teamed up with Daryl last year, and he definitely, you know, taught her some survival skills, and I think that
how to get drunk?
You know, and she's lived a little now. She's, you know, she's not just innocent teenager anymore. So she's lived a little, and she's taking all those things that she's learned, and she's taking a different kind of strength into season 5, and gonna have to use everything she's got.
Nice. Norman Reedus. Hold for estrogen. You can't even say Norman at ComicCon. If you just say the word Norman, people are like, Norman, did you have any inkling at the beginning of season 1 that this was the emotional journey that Daryl would take?
No. I thought that they were gonna kill me off like episode 2. No, I had no idea, but it kind of blows me away. How it keeps going forward, how everybody on this cast, like none of these cast members are the same people as season 1, not even close. It's how it's written. You constantly evolve, and I'm so beat up right now. And like Lauren was saying, it's probably easier to be emotional when you're so physically beat up. But this is a job that we love going through, and you never know where things are going to go. And I'm curious to see where they go now.
Well, speaking of character evolution, I want to ask Andy, where do you think, which character do you think has evolved the most since season 1?
Well, yeah, I mean, as Norm was saying, all of us have had this incredible journey, but I think there's one person that's really changed more than anybody else. I mean, when I first met him, he was barely the size of his action figure. He looked like just a cuddly little Ewok. And I was, in season 2, I was able to carry him. I nearly put my back out doing it. And in season 5, I'm hoping that he will carry me.
I think we actually have a picture of...
Oh, let's... Wow. Oh, look at him. Look at my boy. I love my boy. Look at him. What's up, Riggs?
Why are you guys talking about me like I'm not here? Like,
Yeah. You were gonna sit there and finish every last bit of that pudding before you leave.
Oh my cameras, that is a lot.
Did you ever expect that being on the show would attach you to pudding for the rest of your life?
I mean, that's not what I expected. I mean, I enjoy it now, so.
What does it felt like? I mean, you saw the picture of yourself. You saw that you were a young lad when this series started. What does it felt like to grow up on this show?
It's been an awesome experience. It's been a really awesome experience actually because.
Hey Chandler, how old are you?
What?
How old are you?
How what?
How old are you?
Oh, how old am I? I'm 15.
15!
Do you drive? Do you drive?
Yeah, I got my permit.
How diversified is your stock portfolio now?
Pretty diverse.
How deep is your voice?
You're pretty deep.
Yeah!
No, but growing up on the show it's been so much fun and it's been awesome. And I've had the most amazing actors to work with and mentors here to work with, and it's been awesome and it's been so much fun. You know, growing up on the show, it's been like 1/3 of my life. You know, in the first 5 years you can remember your life, so it's been like half of my life really. So it's been awesome.
Did you just say 1/3 of your life?
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel old. Get off my lawn, you damn kids. 5 years ago, I was like, I was here 5 years ago, like standing here. It feels weird. Probably wearing the same thing, like I have not changed. Oh man, that feels weird. Well, I'm so glad you were able to come out. You haven't been to San Diego Comic-Con yet, have you? This is your first time to San Diego.
Time.
Welcome. open up the floor to questions. I want to make sure we have enough time for fan questions, because I know you guys have waited. We want to make sure we have plenty of time for that. While we're doing that, thank you for flipping me off in front of the young boy. What's your name?
Ani.
Hi, Ani. What's your question?
Well, first off, I want to tell you all for making this amazing TV series that my mom gets mad at me for overwatching. But I'd like to ask Mcbride about himself on the show. What do you see in yourself about Daryl? And then what do you, oh my god.
Release a Pokemon.
Norman Reedus, I choose you! Gotta catch 'em all! Nope, just happy with this one.
How much of Daryl do you see of yourself, and how much of yourself do you see in Daryl?
There's a whole bunch of me and Daryl, and a bunch of Daryl and me, which sounds really old.
Pretty saucy answer.
Yeah, that's what's going on this season. Wow, I mean, I'm definitely as awkward as Daryl is, obviously. I don't know, I mean what I say, I believe what I say, I trust my friends. It takes a long time for me to trust anyone, that's a lot like Daryl. Yeah, I'm a lot like him. We're both, we're both cut from the same cloth, I think, just from different parts of the world, maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Excellent.
I don't know, and hi, ComicCon. Yeah, we love you guys. You're our people, and we love you. So, thank you.
Now, I am so excited to see Button Lady. So excited to see Button Lady. I'm glad you got to. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Chris.
Okay, just before. Okay, real quick.
Wait. You promised me a panel this year. I looked in the schedule. I didn't see it.
For what? A panel for what?
You said Button Lady would have her own panel.
This is it. This is the Button Lady panel. What? This isn't about Walking Dead. We got everyone together here so we can do your panel. Ballpark, how many buttons did you make since last Comic-Con?
2,000.
Jesus. Well, that's amazing. Do you have some for us later?
If you want them, yes.
Yes, I do. What is your question for the panel?
My question is for Melissa. In the scene where you're talking with Tyrese about your guilt and you're confessing to him, do you think that Carol was really, after losing the girls that she so desperately tried to save, that she was looking for suicide by Tyrese, and that she was shocked when he actually forgave her?
Button Lady brings the room down with a serious question. Button Lady makes it real.
What is up with the front row? I don't think. I think she was ready to accept the fate that he chose for her. And the important thing in that scene for her was to allow him the choice and to let him experience what having that choice feels like.
Yeah.
But she never expected that he would forgive her. For sure.
Excellent.
Touche.
Good question. Good answer. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hey, Ashley.
You guys. Actually, my question was for the writers and producers, but you guys can answer it too. I love you.
This will be
You guys are amazing actors. I love you. My question is, there are so many walkers, so different. It's very diverse. And I was wondering if you guys ever thought that there might be a disabled walker, like my battery won't last, like a zombie herd. Do you think that, like, where are the disabled zombies? I want to see those.
As the as the guy who hosts the show that talks about the show, I don't have a good answer for that. But I don't know. That would be a great question for the viewers.
Where are they?
I think you can't count anything out. There's some amazing minds that are right behind that curtain, and I think the world is going to be rife and open for anything and everything. So maybe you just spark some amazing creativity.
I see Scott Gimple trucking up the stairs. Scott Gimple! Come on out and answer this question.
I just came for the pudding.
Well, you don't get pudding unless you get a good answer.
There was actually a disabled walker in episode 6 last year when the governor went to get the oxygen tanks. I didn't mean to turn this into a trivia contest, but I'm just saying. But actually, as we go on, we're going to see all sorts of different walkers, all sorts of different types of people who are people and then become walkers, people who are walkers. You're going to see a lot of stuff, is what I'm saying. I'm going to eat some pudding now.
Is that a satisfactory answer?
Well, also, there have been some times we work with amputees who come and work on the show. And like my pets the second time around, when Michonne was walking around by herself for a long time in episode 9 of last year, were amputees. And another lady we work with in episode 4. But also, you know, I look forward to the many diverse ways that I know Scott will continue to incorporate that.
Excellent. Thanks, Anai. Thanks, Scott.
Hey guys, I got bit.
He's talking! Take his head! Butt lady, get him! Cut off his head with a button, I guess. Oh, dude, it's over.
It is so cute. I love it.
All right. Take it. No, shut up. Put it in your pocket. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Yeah, hide it. Good. She's gonna know too. She's gonna be like, one from back here feels like it's missing. What?
Somebody hired him.
What is your question?
Yeah, so I got bit about a week ago, and I lost my dog and my family and friends and job, and I just want to know, just as an infected individual and all other, for the plight of other infected individuals, what are you guys as a cast doing to raise awareness?
Yeah, guys. I know in their real lives, you know, the show is just a fictionalized account. It's not a documentary. And I just want you to know that in all of our real lives, we're doing a lot to raise zombie awareness and to stop walker shaming, which we're against, and just to make sure that all the walkers feel accepted at a distance, and that, you know, we really come together as a community, and I don't... is any of this processing, or I don't...
A little bit.
There's also, in August, there's the marathon Walking for Walkers.
Yeah.
I think a lot you have signed up, but please donate.
Yeah, please. Their plight is soon to be your plight, so...
Dude, just go home and you're gonna be fine. Just take a nap.
Sleep it off.
Take a movie, you'll be fine.
Take a couple hours, just look at the flowers. Look at the flowers.
It'll be fine. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Good luck. Do you ever think about, like, I honestly think about stuff like this. When I get in a room this size, I look where the exits are. I'm like, okay, I can get out there. I can stab someone with this. If he bit one person, I'd say, what, 45 minutes before everyone in this room was infected, right? 45? Probably 45. 10 minutes? You think 10 minutes? You've thought about it. I like that. I'm sticking with you.
She already has an exit plan.
Yes, what is your question?
Hi. Over here. Okay, my question is not nearly as funny, but what character death on the show affected you guys the most? I mean, unless you want to tell me about the next season, I mean, that'd be good too.
That may not happen, but yeah, let's Andy, what was it?
It'll have to be my wife, I suppose. But then it's funny because I was midway through shooting. I was about on episode 3 or 4 when I called up Scott Gimple and just said, you know, I miss Scott Wilson. I miss Herschel so much. And he said, that's the point.
Yeah, the problem is, whenever a character on the show becomes the moral compass, you're like, that guy's gonna die. I mean, Dale, Herschel, like you don't want to be the one that's outwardly moral on the show because you know that your number's coming up soon. Because that's the whole beauty of the show, is that it makes you feel safe for a second and then it just yanks the carpet out from under your feet at the same time. What about you, Steve?
I would say Jeff DeMunn and Scott Wilson. Those two, and Irony. But those two, I always harken back to like Glenn had so many moments with those people that weren't necessarily shown on screen, and he learned so much. And that actually happened in real life too, you know, just them passing me books and knowledge, and now they're gone. It's a bummer.
I have an annoyingly, like, deep question for Norman, which is, did Merle's death, was it, do you think it was hard for Daryl, or do you think it was weirdly freeing for Daryl?
A little bit of both, I think. I don't know, you know, Daryl sort of found his sense of self-worth through all these other people, and I feel like Merle would have held him from that, you know? I remember when we were shooting stabbing him in the face, and... yeah, right? So shooting him, stabbing him in the face, and that, Greg was telling me, he's like, you're not stabbing him because you're mad at him. You're stabbing at him because of the world. This is what the world's given you. These are the cards you're dealt. But yeah, that was tough, and it was hard to lose him as well as a friend. Just shooting with him was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
What is your name in question?
Hi, I'm Brittany, and I was wondering, like, how do you get into your character when you're filming The Walking Dead? I know Andrew already.
Andy punched a car.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve?
I've been kind of taking a lot of pointers from. I think if you ran B-roll of like 4 seconds before action and then like 5 seconds after action, all of us are just going like. Fucking freaking out. Oh, sorry, freaking out to.
The funny thing about it, I think, to our crew is that it's so normal for us all to be so weird now. It's like the stuff you get into. I mean, we're really performing the craziest tasks on the show, so you have to be a little bit crazy.
What about tonight?
I was thinking through like different moments. Like there was times where, when I was prepping to, for instance, try to kill the governor in his, whatever that was, man cage of heads.
And daughter prison.
And daughter prison. And, daughter bedroom prison. And how I had to go into the very dark places to do that. And the crew, they were telling me later that they have to do stuff to you and adjust you. And they were like, we just didn't quite want to touch you, but we kept like having to go up to you. And I don't know what I was exuding, but whatever it was, they were like, help her out and get out the way, So and then for me, I had to like, I find that sometimes for that scene, I was doing jump rope, I was listening to certain things, and I was kind of going to dark places that I guess was like coming out of my, aura or whatever. But then there are times where, that's not required of you in every episode. So, you don't have to go to points where, the crew doesn't want to touch you, but you can go to places where, you're just enjoying the moment you're about to have with another cast member, like, this episode with me and Carl in the house, and with the crazy cheese stuff. It's just a completely different way to get prepared to like try to help this young man through his grief, as opposed to try to kill a bad guy.
Well, and that makes me want to ask Chandler. Carl's had some of the most difficult tasks in the show, and I think one of the most heartbreaking things for me was after the scene with Lori, you're just like your face just looks empty. What are you taking a picture of here?
But you can't do something hot.
Yeah, of course you can do whatever you want.
Hey, I'm gonna put this on my thing.
I think a lot of people here would like to watch you put that on your thing. That could mean anything. Shut up. But Chandler, what is it? How do you prepare for a scene like that where you just are so kind of like walled over? I mean, do you feel like Carl is in turmoil inside, or does he just shut down because it's just too much?
I don't know. I mean, the way I prepared for that, I just like, because the tunes throughout there, it was like a maze, and so I would just go like walk through there aimlessly with no particular reason, and it was pretty fun actually, just walking through the maze. It's because it just got you in the mindset of having no idea where you are, or you know, or where you're trying to go, you know, and just trying to get back to where you were.
Excellent. Good answer. I think we have time for one more question, and that would be your question, sir. What is it?
Hi, big fan of the comics. Wish Robert was out here to give him some accolades, but
I'll tell him. Robert, there's a guy who really likes the comic book! Here he comes. All right, give him your accolades.
Does this work?
Yeah. I'm probably
this better be good. I went up steps for this.
I'm the only one that loves him. So, my question was really for the whole cast. You can answer it too. All the twisted, macabre stuff that you've had to do throughout all the seasons of the comic books is, I mean, how do you prepare that? How do you prepare for that and that kind of loss of humanity? How do you bring that into the role? How do you prepare for that?
Is there anyone specific that you want to ask?
I guess I'll ask Andrew, but maybe Robert too, how he dreams up all this crap.
Yeah. Don't look behind you.
Yeah, be careful.
That's just us.
How did that happen?
Yeah, Andy, when you first kind of looked at the script, looked at the comic books, and you realized, oh, this is going to be like a really intense journey. Where did you go immediately to start getting prepared for it? I think is.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to music a lot. I get to get me in different sort of states. Prince helps me.
Prince?
Yeah.
Which album?
Pretty much all of them.
Purple Rain?
Purple Rain, I love. I was listening to
so
Purple Rain
good.
every day, yeah. But no, I mean, it's. For example, for the Laurie scene, you know, the death scene, I listened to another song over and over and over again, and it was. And it just helps me just get quiet and just imagine really dark thoughts. It's weird.
Well, then let's let Kirkman answer since he walked up the stairs. What?
I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, it kind of wears on me a little bit, you know, because there are periods where I'm working on The Walking Dead for like many days in a row without doing anything else, and it does get a little. It's a little heady sometimes when I'm, you know, dealing with human misery as you do in The Walking Dead. You know, characters dying and stuff like that. And I think that's why it helps that I do so many other projects. So I'm able to, you know, go and do something a little bit lighter. And although all of my projects these days have seemed to be pretty dark. So what I'm saying is I'm in a pretty bad place right now. but yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's fun digging into the, you know, darkness in imaginary characters' souls and seeing how that works. So I enjoy it, but I don't know, I'm probably a weirdo.
Well, we have to end the panel, because I want to show you the trailer again before we leave. So, please, I just want to make sure we have 3 minutes before the panel, and so that's just enough time to show the trailer. So, please help me in thanking the entire cast and producers.
hear it once again for AMC's The Walking Dead, our cast and creative team, and also our special guest moderator, Mr. Chris Hardwick.
to 9 p.m. Sunday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
There's nothing else to do. Well, there's like
if you are leaving LH after this event, please leave via the doors to the left of the seating area.
Huh? I got some good stuff. I got like, I was in the center of the room, and I did like a 360, like from the stage back to the stage. You know, I don't know, you know, it's hard to tell what I am doing. I think it's some nice stuff of like, well, when they were asking the questions, I got like a close-up, like zoomed in, so like they were asking the question at the panel, and it's good, yeah. So, there's definitely some stuff in here I just try to keep, you know, profiles and back as much as I can.